Okay, Nature Pilot POV here. I'm going to show you today how to change the pop-up stopper and even install a pop-up rod into a sink that doesn't have it. Couple of things to keep in mind. It's really easy. So I didn't plan this very well because I bought this a while ago for about $15, I believe, from Home Depot, and then I found out that this thing was broken, so I had to buy this one separately. It's only about $6. If I didn't lose the receipt, I could have just returned it and got an all-in-one kit that's actually a little bit cheaper, and it comes with the section of pipe here. So this is a really easy fix. All you need is a flathead screwdriver. It's not necessarily mandatory, it's just easier than breaking your nail, and pulling this out. So, but before you get started, what I want you to do is you come on down here and we remove this. So to tighten and untighten things, once you're facing it, so if this, I was sitting over here, it's always righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, or clockwise to remove, to tighten, and counterclockwise to remove. So we're going the opposite direction here. So this guy in here goes inside the stopper. So I'm going to show you this broken one. So that, all that base is missing. Okay. Just gonna set up the lighting here. So that's why it doesn't work properly. And you could see the metal in the bottom here once it's plugged in. So there's that opening. You see that metal piece? That's what goes up and down to lift it, and it plugs into here. So when you purchase this, this is a one-size-fits-all. It was the only one they had at Home Depot. It looks blue, it looks ugly. That's not the top, that's just a protective layer of covering. And for this part here, so here's the stopper. I'm going to show you how it looks before we assemble it. So this one we just tighten and loosen by hand. This slides in here, gets tightened to hold it in place. This one will pivot in here, and it will be inside of this, going up and down, and this is what the structure will look like. But this will be holding that in the middle. Okay, so this is kind of what the mechanism. So you push down, this goes up, pull up, this goes down, and that's how you correct it. If you install this and it's not holding in place, all that means is you just need to tighten this more. If it's too firm, you just need to loosen it. So we'll get started. So I've already tried this one. You do not, it comes with two of these. For mine, I can only tighten if it only has one, so I'm just going to set the other one aside and save it for later. Shouldn't leak without it. So first steps first. For this bad boy, we want to keep it, so mine comes in this way, so we want to lower it in like this so it can easily enter. So the only time we need the flathead screwdriver is just popping this out. We will feed this straight down as such, and now we go underneath. All right, so here we are underneath. First step is we're just going to tighten this. Actually, first step should be to install this. So all we're doing is we're just going to put it in first, make sure it's hooked correctly, and so when we pull this up, it takes it up with it. That's how you know it's inside the loop. If it wasn't, you'd be able to pull up the stopper above. And so, oh, I'm a big guy, so that's the stopper, right? If it wasn't in the loop, we would be able to remove this when we pull up. And then again, from underneath, when we're pushing up and down, it's going up and down, so that's what we want. That's how we know it's in correctly. So again, since if it's facing us, it's clockwise, but since we're facing away, it's counterclockwise. So that's just, we tighten it a little bit just to get it in place. This guy, one side's gonna be in here. Then we pass, you can always adjust it. So for me, I like to put this in first, but either way is fine. And then we just tighten this. So we're just rotating righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And let's see if we go this far. And then we just bend the back piece to hold it in place. And that's the gist of the installation. Now we want to check to see how the height is. That's a little low. I would like to have it, it's not so bad, right? Sticks up this high, comes down this low. If we want it to go lower, we obviously would put it on a lower rung, so it'll sit higher up. If we want it to go higher, we would put it on a higher rung so that it doesn't go down as much. But I think this looks like a good height to me. So now all we're gonna do is just tighten this. So if you're using a plumber's wrench, the best way to do it is you want to rotate in the same direction as, so you want to have it facing the direction you're rotating. So if we're rotating counterclockwise, you want it facing this way because the teeth grip better. If we're going clockwise, you want to rotate it this way, otherwise it slips. So next step, what we're doing is tightening this. And so I just loosen the grip, slide it back, pinch, and tighten. Be smarter than me. Get gloves before you do things, because sometimes you can scratch your fingers and you don't want to scratch them on rusty old pipes. So let's see. That might be a little too far. We'll check first. So open. Oh. That was way too tight. It popped out from the back there. That's fine. Not a big deal. First things first, I'll loosen it a little bit. And I'm going to adjust the height while I'm at it. So again, this is where we're working with. So if you see here, this thing popped off because I didn't tighten it enough. And conversely, I tightened the other section too much. So up we go. Down we go. I'm going to tighten this a little more. You don't need to over tighten it. When I was new to all this stuff, I thought if we put up a lot of pressure, it's better. It's actually not, because that just makes things more likely to over torque and break. Because especially with plumbing, you know, I used to think you got to tighten it a lot to strengthen the bond so water doesn't leak. That's not correct. It should seal with just a little bit, and then you can always add plumber's tape. So this is still a bit loose, so just a little bit more. And now if we look up top, it's open, closed, open. Okay, so it looks like we set it a little bit too low, so we'll just pop it up one, so grip better, and then down, up, down, up. We'll check up. So that's nice and high, still connected, and there we go. It's making more noise than I would like. So let's see what we're rubbing against that's causing that noise. Oh. Oops. See, it's because the way this plier is set up, we can move it out of the way. There we go. Yeah. Nope. Stays open. Stays closed, and that's all you need. So she's ready to go, and now we'll test it. She's plugged. Nothing is leaking down here. No leaks. and she's cleared. So I would like to place it a little higher. I'm just going to play with the setting down here, and you can adjust it like that as well. So and that's the end of our video. Ooh, I had some hair in here. I apologize.